that fundamental idea of what masculinity is and what a man is fundamentally flawed. Take for example Marcus Aurelius, right? Often people use a picture of just this masculine whatever guy to represent Marcus Aurelius. But if you really think about it, there was no need whatsoever for Marcus Aurelius to be that big. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor. Marcus Aurelius had guards. Marcus Aurelius had armies. He had people who were that big, that buff, that ready to fight, that ready to die, you know, to fight for him. And yet none of those people came up with meditations. None of those people were able to run a successful empire. Instead, it was this guy who stayed inside the whole day, probably was not that big,